Well, what they have agreed today is just the legal basis for expanding these sanctions. So the existing sanctions target Belarus because of the fraudulent presidential election last year and the crackdown on the protests over that fraudulent election. So now those sanctions can be expanded to human trafficking. The companies and individuals and entities that are involved in the human trafficking, bringing people from the Middle East to Belarus and sending them toward the EU's eastern border, the border with Poland. Now, they didn't actually come up with the list of who and what is targeted today, even though that was expected. Borrell said in his press conference afterwards that will be coming in the next days. It's not exactly clear what the holdup is. He did mention that consensus is still needed between EU countries, so it's not clear if there's some disagreement about how extensive these sanctions could be. It could be that they're holding open the sanction process because so far just the threat of sanctions has been able to get third countries to cooperate voluntarily here. There was a lot of talk about sanctioning some airlines that have been involved in this human trafficking, either willingly or more likely just kind of turning a blind eye to it. That included Turkish airlines, airlines out of the UAE, Aeroflot out of Russia. Those airlines have mostly come to voluntary agreements to stop one-way flights for people from countries like Iraq, Syria, and Yemen to Belarus. So it may be that they wanted to hold out a little longer for some more voluntary agreements. But what's really noticeable about today and about the press conference that Borrell held was that this has really expanded to looking at Russia. At the same time that this is happening, Russia is having a troop buildup at its border with Ukraine, and there is concern that an invasion may be imminent of Ukraine. And there are leaders in Eastern Europe, including Poland's prime minister, who say this whole migrant crisis at the Belarus-Poland border is being orchestrated from Moscow, perhaps as an effort to sow chaos or distraction ahead of an invasion of Ukraine. It's also been posited that President Putin may be looking to invade and annex Belarus itself. Nobody's quite clear what's going on or what the intentions are over there, but clearly we saw today that the scope of this has expanded to Russia. So it will be interesting to watch what happens in the next day in terms of next 2 days in terms of sanctions against Russia. There has been talk of targeting the Russian military contractor firm Wagner as part of this, and also extending into its role in Africa. If they are indeed targeted by sanctions, that is moving this ever closer to Moscow in terms of the EU's sanctions and retaliations.